It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hi, television neighbor. I'm glad we're together again.
Well, hello kids, and welcome to Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood. It's been such a long time since I've seen you guys because of all this coronavirus stuff, and I really do miss you guys. And I know you probably miss school, even though you don't want to admit it, but I'm just so glad you could come into my house and Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood, and I can show you some things in my house, and maybe at the end of the video, if you stick around and you watch all that you're supposed to, we might take you on a little trip around Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood to see some of the stuff that's going on. So let's get started with this lesson that we have on possessive nouns for the language arts class. This video is going to be for the 8th grade language arts, and so let's see what we've got here. First slide talks about possessive nouns, and so possess means to own something. You know, if you possess something, you own it. So I've got the basketball. Whenever I played basketball, we didn't have the possession clock. The arrow thing. We jump balled every time we had it. And so this tells you whose ball it is. You guys know that from playing basketball or being around basketball games. Whose possession? Who owns the basketball? Who has it? Okay, so a possessive noun. So Mr. Gaebe has got some stuff here at home. Okay, what does Mr. Gaebe have? Well, Mr. Gaebe's got this baseball bat. So this is Mr. Gaebe's baseball bat because I own it. I got it this last summer, and actually we were in Minnesota and I was watching a game and somebody broke the bat. This bat's actually broken here. It's a wood bat, but they were just kind of giving them away, so I took it, and I still haven't fixed it yet, but it's a nice bat. So that's Mr. Gaebe's bat. All right, what else does Mr. Gaebe have in his bag of tricks here? Mr. Gaebe has what I call presidents. Okay, we talk about the president a lot in civics class, but these are presidents. Okay, these are Pez holders, and one is Woodrow Wilson, and the other is Warren Harding. I hope to get more presidents as I go along, but these are Mr. Gaebe's presidents. All right, Mr. Gaebe also has some hats. Well, you guys recognize this, the Okawville baseball hat. Probably not as nice as Coach Smith's hats. He's got all kinds of really fancy hats and everything, but this is a baseball hat that Mr. Gaebe has. Here's a hat. I have no idea. My son's filming this. Carl, do you know where this hat came from?
Came from Savers.
Savers?
Fairview.
I don't know if this is from Mexico or what kind of hat this is, or Chinese hat. I'm not sure what kind of hat it is, but it's definitely a good sun hat. But that's either Carl's hat or Mr. Gaebe's hat, right? Okay, so if you notice on all these things, when we say Mr. Gaebe's hat or Mr. Gaebe's presidents or Mr. Gaebe's baseball bat, it's always apostrophe S. All right, so here's the rule on that. Or, well, wait, before we get there, let's talk about some of Carl's stuff. Carl's got some stuff. Carl's got a guitar, and I think in a little bit we're going to show you just how Carl can play his guitar. And we're having trouble right now, but we might make another video of that. backpack here home with him, and Carl has a set of keys. So if you notice, it's always apostrophe S on Carl's because Carl owns those things. All right, rule number 1, here it is. If a noun is singular, to make it possessive, you add an apostrophe followed by an S. A cat has a tail, so you would say the cat's tail. There's a picture of the cat's tail, C-A-T apostrophe S. A table has 4 legs, so you say the table's legs, T-A-B-L-E apostrophe S. So if a noun is singular and you want to make it possessive, all you do is put an apostrophe S on it. That's pretty simple. You understand that, Carl?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but I think he does. All right, the next slide talks about rule number 2. It says, if a noun is plural and ends in S, to make it possessive, you simply add an apostrophe behind the S. If you look at this picture, we've got more than one student, right? We've got 4 students there. It says several students have backpacks. Because students is plural and already ends in S, we put the apostrophe behind the S. It's the students' apostrophe backpacks. Many workers have complaints. Look at all these angry. Oh, they're mad, man. They are so angry and upset. Look at that. The workers' complaints, all right? It's more than one, so it's W-O-R-K-E-R-S apostrophe. So rule number 2 says if a noun is plural and ends in S, to make it possessive, you simply add an apostrophe behind the S. All right, one more rule to go. Rule number 3. If a noun is plural but does not end in S, to form the possessive, you must add an apostrophe followed by an S. A clothing store for men. Look at that guy. He's got a nice suit on there. Like I had my suit jacket on a while ago and I put it up. Don't look as fancy as that guy, but men's clothing. M-E-N apostrophe S. Men is the plural of man. It doesn't end in S, so you add an apostrophe S. Same way with children. The playground is for children. Here's a playground. It's the children's playground. The plural of child is children. And so you add an apostrophe S because it's plural but did not end in S. So you've got 3 different rules there, basically. All right, what else does Mr. Gaebe have? Mr. Gaebe's got, you guys probably recognize these. These are, I think, the balls that they gave out at Coach Burianic's game this year. Kind of like the rocket balls there for cancer there. That's Mr. Gaebe's ball, so that would be apostrophe S. Mr. Gaebe's got some baseballs here. This one was from maybe the year 2000, his first year of coaching high school. The kids signed it. This one was from when Coach Smith went to state one of those years, not too long ago, with some of the kids up in Peoria. And that ball came from that tournament. Mr. Gaebe has a movie called Rudy, one of his favorite movies. It's about a little kid that made the football team at Notre Dame. That's Mr. Gaebe's movie. And this is what Carl got Mr. Gaebe for Christmas, and I really like it. It's a light, I wear it on my head. It's pretty easy, strap on. I read at night with it, do different things. It's pretty cool. So if a noun is singular like Mr. Gaebe, remember it's just apostrophe S. But if it's more than one, if it's plural and already ends in S, then the apostrophe goes after the S. But if it's like this, men or children, then it's apostrophe S because it's plural but does not end in S. I know that's confusing, but look at some of these words. Men, women, children, geese, deer, people, sheep, mice, oxen, fish, sails, men, chairmen. Those are all plural words, but they don't end in S. So for example, it was the people's desire to overthrow their king. People is plural but doesn't end in S, so you add an apostrophe S on it to show the possession, show possessive there. All right, confusing. I used to have a girl in class named Tess Schubert. She was a very good runner. I think she's a lawyer now, but the girl's name is Tess. Tess owns a pair of shoes. So how do I do that? Tess's shoes. I'd probably do it like this, T-E-S-S apostrophe S. Sometimes if a person's name ends in S, it's confusing as to whether or not we put apostrophe S or just the apostrophe on it. I'd probably do it like that for that one. This is Easter when I'm filming it today, so we talked about Jesus' resurrection. Some people would do it like this, J-E-S-U-S apostrophe. Or some people would say you do it like that, J-E-S-U-S apostrophe S. It just kind of depends. Some people do it different ways on those. Is it the Williams or the Williams' home? I think either one can work. The Williams home, S apostrophe, or Williams apostrophe S. Sometimes there's confusion on some of those. All right, I have some funny errors. Look at some of these funny apostrophe errors. Pies and burgers. All right, Well, you don't need the apostrophe obviously on the pies, it's just plural, but somebody put it there. How about this one? The teacher's lounge. Now what does that mean if it's just apostrophe S? If it's the teacher's lounge, that means is there one teacher or more than one teacher? The way it is, it's just one teacher. That means every single teacher, like Mr. Gaebe and Mr. Smith and Mrs. Frederking and you know, we would all have a lounge. Mr. Tabby, Mr. Hoster, we would all have a lounge, and you know that's not right. That wouldn't be the case. So that should go after the S on that. All right, Dunkin' Donuts. I don't think that apostrophe needs to go on donuts, does it? I think that's an error there. And ladies' room. Ladies' room. All right, for that you would need to go Ladies apostrophe because it's plural. Ladies would be plural and would already end in S, so the apostrophe should have gone after it. So sometimes the apostrophe can make a big difference where you put it. So when you show possession, you got to know if it's apostrophe S or if it's S apostrophe, and you need to review those 3 rules. Go back and review them if you didn't get them. All right, so in Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood, and I think I got a slide there, Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood, we are going to go now very close in my neighborhood to one of my friends and it's a local business here, and they have a sign up that's got an apostrophe in it, and we're going to go talk about that sign right now with them. So come on as we go over there. Okay, we're going to go. Come on out, kids. Oh, it's a beautiful day today. We're going to take a look at Mr. Gaebe's house. Come on out here. Let's get us. A lot of you know where I live, but some of you don't. This is 117 West Elm Street. Go ahead, take a look at the house. Not a big house. I've lived here since 1991. That's a long time, about 30 years. So nice little house, and I've got some neighbors here we're going to talk about. Across the street, a lot of you know the Haggertys. Mrs. Haggerty teaches at the grade school, and Hayden and his little brother and his dad are usually out there playing ball a lot in the yard all the time. And then this used to be my neighbor Rita. She's in the nursing home now. So this house is vacant temporarily. And of course you guys know the car wash if you come on down this way a little bit. That's Todd Furhop's car wash. You guys know all the Furhops. And then obviously past way down there is Circle K. Not too far for me to walk though. So that's kind of the neighborhood to the east. But if we go to the west, that's really where we're going to focus on. So let's start walking to the west and go to my neighbor over there and see who that is. We're coming over here to Killian's Auto Service. They've been my neighbors for a long time. We're going to see what they're doing. Nice sign right there, Killian's Auto Service. So we're going to talk about that apostrophe S there in a second. Hey, what's going on? Hey, here's Josh Madrid working at Killian's Auto Service. I had Josh in class not too long ago. What year did you graduate? 2017. You guys went state in basketball, didn't you?
Yeah.
2 years in a row?
Yeah, the second year they went with you after they got.
Man, I remember that game was at, where was that game at? Oh, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys ran that long pass at the end, you made that layup. That was a good game. Who'd you guys play that night?
Oh, I can't remember. The one kid's playing D1 now.
Oh, he's in Division One.
I think so.
Yeah, you guys had a really good team, you and Noah and everybody.
Yeah, St. John.
And now you're working here, so.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice? You're going to school too. Where are you going to school at?
Yeah. Swick and then going to ranking.
Swick and then you go into ranking. So what would you tell us if there's like an 8th grader out there who's wanting to go into auto mechanics? What would be good advice for them? What should they study? What should they focus on?
Anything in the shop, really. I know at Okawville they got Mr. Bergen there. He's got stuff they work with.
Mr. Berg's got good classes for that.
Yeah, yeah.
What about math? Is math important for auto?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely math and just anything in shop.
Ranking, that's gonna be pretty hard stuff, isn't it?
That's what Brian wants.
A lot of computer stuff too, isn't it? With cars today.
Anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Josh used to live right across. He was another person in my neighborhood, man. He used to live right across the street over here, but you moved to Muscuda now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 5 months ago.
Yeah. All right, is Brian in the back?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go talk to Brian. Oh, here's another person I had in class a long time ago. Long time ago. And I remember you dunking the basketball. Man, you put on a lot of weight, haven't you? No, I'm joking. How do you stay that thin?
Don't eat.
Just work all the time?
That's right.
What year did you graduate?
99.
99? Wow. I tell them I moved in the house over there in 91.
Yeah,
Where's time gone?
It's been a long time.
So what are you doing here?
Fixing exhaust leak,
Just an exhaust leak?
putting a gasket in it.
Man, that's tough stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't help you.
I know
with
that.
If you need to know where to put an apostrophe or a comma or something like that or whatever, I'm your man, but not.
I need help with that all the time. They never taught me how to do that.
And who was your teacher again? Me?
Mr. Gaebe.
Mr. Gabe. All right, let's go see what Brian's doing. So Brian, what are you doing?
Recovering Freon.
Recovering Freon. Why is Freon important for a car?
You want to stay cool during summer.
Stay cool during the summer, you gotta have it. That's right. Brian, can you believe I've lived in my house since 1991? And when I moved here, I didn't know one thing about cars. And now tell them how much I know about cars.
Very little.
Still very little about cars. I remember when you used to wrestle with your dad, you and Eric used to wrestle with your dad over here. Yeah, we had it was a good time. Now I really want to know, like, you've had a few days off over the Easter and everything and all that. So have you done some extra work at home helping me out?
Very little.
Still not. You haven't helped her day out at all?
No, I haven't.
That's good. Brendan. Okay, so the one that we're going to go back in a second. We're going to look at the Killian's Auto Service sign. It's got apostrophe S. So the question is, if it's apostrophe S, that means is it one Killian that owns it, or is it a family business?
Family business.
Family business. Okay. So what we're teaching the kids is that possibly it could be the apostrophe might go after the S. If it's could. So we may have to take that sign down and change that apostrophe.
You can.
All right, I want to say hi to Rocky because I miss him. Everybody misses Rocky, so Rocky, I don't know what's going on without you over there. It's a mess. You got to get back over here. So, hey Rocky, I miss you. So the question is, Killian's Auto Service, apostrophe S. The way that's worded, it means like Rocky is the owner. I think that's true. Rocky is still the owner. But if it was apostrophe went after the S, that means that all the Killians, maybe even Avery or Brendan or Carter or Renee would actually own it. But if it's apostrophe S, it's still Rocky's. All right, Rocky, we know it's yours. Kids, we're about ready to leave Killian's Auto Service, and this is my favorite place in Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood to come. I come over here all the time. I borrow tools over here. I bug these guys, and it's just a great place. We're going to head back here in a second. Right over here, though, this is where Mr. Furhop lives. If you look this way, come this way, Carl. Right over here is Mr. Furhop's house, so he's in Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood. And just a quick geography lesson for the kids, because I know you guys don't like your directions or like roads very well, but this is Route 177. It's also Elm Street. My address is 117 West Elm Street, but this runs all the way. If you keep going, it'll go through Muscuda to Belleville, and if you go the other way, it'll go all the way to Irvington. This is Highway 177, and yeah, so I live on that. Uh-oh, Carl, you're out in the middle of the road now. Let's start walking back to I forgot, there's one thing I forgot about possessives, and we're going to talk about possessive pronouns, so come on back to the house and we'll do that. Right here, here's what I'm talking about, Illinois 177, right there, and then 160, that'll take you to Okawville, so sign right in my yard here. I have to mow around this, have to weed eat around this all the time, right there, but that's the state's doing, so can't do anything about that. That's government, you know about civics, so come on in, let's finish the language arts. All right, kids, one thing that I forgot to tell you about was pronouns. Pronouns can also be possessive. So Carl, if you can get a close-in shot of the screen there. So if we say something like, well, first of all, let's say that Bob has a pencil. So it's Bob's pencil. But we could say, hey, that's his pencil. So if we say his pencil, we don't need an apostrophe on the his, okay? No need for that. Or we could say that that pencil is hers. If it's Susan's or something like that. Susan's we'd put an apostrophe S, and Bob's we'd put an apostrophe S. But if we just say that pencil is hers, we don't need an apostrophe on the S. Same way with those papers are yours. We wouldn't need an apostrophe on the yours. Those candles are theirs, T-H-E-I-R-S. We wouldn't need an apostrophe on the theirs. And let me go back one screen because I think I listed some of these. His, her, my, mine, yours, theirs, our, ours, and its. If it's it apostrophe s, you guys should know that means it is, right? So these are possessive pronouns, and where you would not put an apostrophe on them. All right, you see this Hershey's candy bar? I know you're looking, hey, there's apostrophe there, right there, Hershey's. Whose company is it? Mr. Hershey, I guess, from Pennsylvania. It's his chocolate bar, so it's apostrophe s. That candy bar is his, all right? So we wouldn't put an apostrophe there. And you know what? I was thinking about somebody who's got some candy right now. And I forgot all about this person. That's Rachel Rabbit. And I know she lives right over here. And we're going to go talk to Rachel Rabbit in a little bit and see what she got on Easter and what she's got maybe to share with some kids or something like that. So let's go talk to Rachel Rabbit now. How about it? Hey kids, I'm going to see if Rachel the Rabbit's home. Let me give a knock. Hey Rachel, are you home?
Hello?
Hey Rachel, how you doing?
Home. I'm home.
Hey, there's Rachel.
I wasn't expecting any visitors today.
Well, I know you had a big day yesterday. What was yesterday?
It was Easter.
Wow, Easter Sunday. That's a big day for a rabbit. I say, hey, I see you got some chocolate left over though.
It's the last one. I had to give all the other ones away.
Really? Last one? Hey, I know somebody who really could use a boost. I saw her yesterday and she was kind of down and she could probably, I bet she'd like about half that chocolate bar. That's Abby. Have you seen Abby?
I haven't seen her, but this is my last chocolate bar.
Well, let's see if Abby's around. Hey, Abby.
No.
Abby the ape. Abby the ape, come on. Hey, are you here?
Hello.
Hey, Abby. Abby, look, hey, Rachel.
Hello, guys.
Rachel's here, Abby. What have you been doing, Abby?
Hey, Rachel. Oh.
Hey, Abby, did you get any chocolate yesterday on Easter?
Oh, my family ate all the chocolate. I didn't.
You didn't get any chocolate at all? Now, Rachel, wouldn't it be a nice gesture on your part and really a nice thing to give Abby half of your chocolate bar? Wouldn't that be really nice?
But I gave it all away. I was working hard yesterday.
Oh, but you need to share. You really need to share. Abby, why don't you just go ahead and get half of Rachel's chocolate bar? She really does want to share.
That would be great since I didn't have any yesterday. Hey,
there you go, Rachel. Nice. That's so nice, Rachel.
I don't think so.
What?
I never get to eat chocolate. I'm an Easter bunny.
I know it's your chocolate bar, but you could give Abby, and that chocolate bar could be hers too. We're learning about those possessive pronouns, hers and yours and my and mine. Don't be so stingy, Rachel.
It's my chocolate bar.
Oh, but you can make it her chocolate bar. Half of it could be hers. Why don't you just go ahead? Go ahead, Abby.
Share it. We could share it, Rachel. It could be our chocolate bar.
Yeah, go ahead, Abby. Go ahead, Abby. Go ahead, Abby.
So I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. What? Rachel, don't be hitting. Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. They're fighting over the chocolate bar. Abby, are you okay? Are you all right? Come back up here, Abby.
Get up. Trying to get up.
Come back up here, Abby. Oh, Rachel, no. Oh, kids. I'm so sad that you had to see that. So sorry that you had to see that. Hey, kids. I want to apologize for Rachel Rabbit's actions. I had no idea she was going to act like that, so I'm sorry about that. But I am really, really happy, though, about the time that we had together doing the video, and I hope you guys learned some stuff about possessives and learned a little bit about Mr. Gaebe's neighborhood. I want to thank especially my son Carl for helping me make this video. I really could have done it without him. And it really is just a good feeling to get together with you guys, and just because miss you guys. Well, all the teachers I know, we miss you guys, and hopefully we'll be back soon. But really good to see you guys.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too.
Stay off drugs, do your homework, and don't stay up all night playing video games. You'll be okay.